Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions. You already know your host, Father Rich. We live in this New York experience. Red is getting ready. Red just finished dropping some jewels to me.
Facts.
This 2020 Ascension Conference, November 3rd. And it's going to be off the hook, man. We was talking about the Joker movie and how the whole theta science and how the silver screen, the movie, it was a deep conversation, man. I look forward to your presentation, my brother.
Yes, indeed. I look forward to it as well.
Topics such as neuroplasticity,
theta waves,
all that, yeah.
Brain hacking.
Hacking the brain. There's tricks to achieve things at a faster pace than everyone else. So,
I'm honored to be chosen amongst the gods to carry the collective into 2020.
Indeed. Important year. Listen, family, the link is in the description. 2020 ascensionconference.eventbrite.com. If you want to buy advance tickets will also be available at the door.
Facts.
If you can't make it and you want to live stream, go to usalivestream.com/ascension and you can watch us via pay-per-view in HD. It's going to be off the hook, family. But with that being said, Red Man, we're enjoying this. It's a beautiful night in Harlem, New York.
That it is.
I woke up today and Black Wall Street was trending.
Facts.
Because of a new series on HBO called The Watchmen.
Yeah, Watchmen.
Man, all the tweets going out, people saying they never heard of it, white people, black people. I don't know whether to believe them, not to believe them. But I guess the most important thing to talk about is Black Wall Street, and I guess continue to inform our people about what happened and who we were, and because we're just taught we were slaves and we didn't contribute nothing.
Facts.
So they don't know we were this prosperous to the point where there was a lot of jealousy going on. Red Pill, talk to me about what you thought about Watchmen.
Well, the power and the magic of a movie or a series such as Watchmen, which is an adaptation of a DC comic book and also an adaptation of a Hollywood movie that came out in, I believe, 2009, if I'm correct. So this TV series on HBO has taken a unique approach where it's introducing an alternative universe. In this alternative universe, Watergate never happened. In this alternative universe, Vietnam was won by the help of Dr. Manhattan. In this alternative universe, Robert Redford is the longest running president who was elected in 1992, right? So, in this universe, quantum realities or the quantum realm is being shown in real time, and it's a continuation. I mean, basically, by watching this show, it's just basically showing me, like the last show that we had or the last episode that we had, that there is enormous power in what we call the Hollywood or Hollywood and moving pictures, right? In order to manipulate the quantum universe by bringing forth what is known as alternative realities. And in those alternative realities, we're able to do what? We're able to plant our seeds of our reality or what we want to emboss on the subconsciousness of the people who are watching our creations, anything that we want. And that's what they've been doing in Hollywood for many, many decades, and that's why we find ourselves where we're at today in this quote-unquote matrix or this illusion or this reality or this alternative reality that we found ourselves in collectively based off of the programming that we received in our subconsciousness from not just Hollywood, which consists of the media, We're talking the newspapers, we're talking the magazines, we're talking the reality shows, we're talking the daytime shows, we're talking the soap operas, we're talking the movies, the action movies, horror movies, dramas, we're talking comedies, we're talking the sitcoms, we're speaking about animation, cartoons, Saturday cartoons, weekend, Sunday cartoons, weekday cartoons, and the list goes on, right? This assault that we've been receiving from people, or what we would call warlocks or wizards, because they practice high sciences like Kabbalah and things of that nature to manipulate through gematria, through numerology, and a whole bunch of other things, through special effects, through the green screen, you know what I'm talking about? Through all of these things, they're able to shift and mold the human mind. Why do I say that? Because if they control the realms of entertainment and media, they understand while you're in the realm of media, when you're in the realm of media or media, you're in theta mode, meaning that you're at the border of either going to sleep or either staying awake and watching something. How many people have Netflix and chill, and you don't really even get to chill because you fall asleep? You know what I'm talking about? Or you go to the movie theater and you're always feeling like you either want to go to sleep or you go to sleep, but you're in that theta mode. And the subconscious mind doesn't know what? It doesn't know fact from fiction. It doesn't know fantasy from reality. And then what is known as neuroplasticity is taking place, because in this environment, because what neuroplasticity is the fact that your brain is able to rewire itself based off environment, based off of stimulation, and based off of what is being downloaded in it. What's the perfect place for that to happen but in front of Netflix or in the movie theater where the lights are dim, you want that popcorn, right? Sorry. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I'm glad that my brain was able to rewire real quick, because this might have turned into blaxploitation. I'm gonna bring back Shaft on these niggas. But what happens is our brains are basically our brains are being rewired in the movie theater. How many people saw Shaft and thought that you was a bad mother? Shut your mouth, right? How many people saw Scarface and walked out of the theater, Young Montana? How many people saw Black Panther and you felt like you was T'Challa? You knew beyond a reasonable doubt, because some kind of DNA got triggered and awoken while you were sitting there. Your brain got rewired to see yourself as royalty, to see yourself as the quote-unquote gods and the kings and the quote-unquote, royalty that you are. Facts. You know what I'm talking about? So, by what they did in this series, came out last night, the Watchmen, the star or the heroine is Regina Hall.
Regina King.
Regina King.
Yeah.
Shout out to Regina Hall. Regina King, who is one of the most consistent, right? Not just consistent, but she's one of the most effective melanated black actresses of our time. Why do I say that? Because she's been working since 227, right? Huh? Where's Jack A? Where's the rest of the staff? Where's Paul at? No, Regina King. Where's Calvin? She been working, and everything, and the majority of the movies that she's worked on are what? These are projects that are effective. These are projects that mean something. She's the voice in the Boondocks of Riley and Huey. You dig? She's Riley and Huey, and she has a whole bunch of other things. Go and look up her discography. So she's the heroine in this show. And in this show, in the first 10 minutes of The Watchmen, like I said, this is an adaptation of the original comic book. So if anybody either has a comic book or saw the movie that came out years ago, this is different. This is them taking it into a quantum universe. They created an alternative universe in which they could now do what? Create a narrative and control a narrative and implant new ideas, new concepts, and by doing such, rewire and the neuroplasticity of the viewership. So in this show, it started up and it showed Black Wall Street. It showed the events, right? Because no other Hollywood production, no other TV show, no other HBO or Netflix series have managed to successfully depict through a reenactment, right? A Hollywood reenactment, you know, not somebody just saying what was happening, because we've seen many documentaries where they were able to narrate or voice over pictures, and they even have some footage and whatnot of burning buildings and whatnot. But no, this was a production, and it showed the horrors of the first, I believe, if it was not the first, it might have been the deadliest homeland terrorism attack on the soil of Native or quote-unquote Americans, black folk. Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma. The outright massacre and the outright genocide of the Black Wall Street of Black America, when Black America was great again, right? When Black America was at its greatest, financially wise. Come on, talk black to me. And this is not a condemnation on our generation, but there were ancestors who are landowners of 300, 400, 250, 200, 100 acres. There's a poster this longer than this mural right here that has black inventors coming out in the 1890s who've made beneficial inventions. Go and Google the list and then take away everything that they created and see what society would be right now. Talk black to me.
There wouldn't be no society.
If you want to measure what their importance is and who the hell they were, take away everything that they created and not what they created, because there's offshoots of the inventions that they created that you niggas got like shit like the clap on. So you be like, well, at least we got the clap on. No, nigga, you take all that away and see where you're left with. So the heart, the central, one of the most prosperous, and the example in the blueprint of what many Black Wall Streets were forming from, was destroyed. Not only was it destroyed in real life.
Who was it destroyed by, Red Pill?
It was destroyed by white supremacists, white inferiority complex race soldiers. It was destroyed by white fragilicists because they were actually in their feelings for eons at the outright success. Because you know what comes with black success or melanated success, right?
Tell me.
Huh? A tornado of Becky's. Okay? AKA a lot of action. So they was choosing. No, I'm dead ass. Across the tracks. They were coming across the tracks. Their women was talking about these black men who be mad clean, putting on, always dripping, had all of this money on the other side of the tracks, to their trash ass brothers who doubled as their husbands, who tripled as their grandfathers and shit like that. So out of jealousy, out of hatred, out of fear of a black messiah, and out of a whole bunch of other factors, these Europeans, these Eastern and Western Europeans, you feel me, who their ancestors participated in genocide and participated in another form of a Holocaust when they cleared out the Midwest, and then when they went up in Texas and whatnot, committing genocide. So they added on, and the rest of their people, their nationality, their race, they covered for them, and they covered up that story. So not only did they massacre our people in what is known as one of the most worst massacres on American soil, but they massacred it in a mine of native Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Oklahoma in it of itself, or Texas residents. Henceforth, you got all of these people on Twitter like, oh my goodness, I never heard of this, the horror. And I'm like, one, if you're white and you say that you got a black friend and you ain't never heard of Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Black Wall Street, one, you not listening. Two, you a white fragilicist and you start getting all uncomfortable when people talk about the shit that we've been through. Three, the nigga who you rolling with, or the bedwench, or the, you know, that you're rolling with is just glorified help. They just there as the help. And they don't know shit. So our people, I don't know how many percentage of our people are benign neglect or willfully ignorant to whereas they got social media. If you got Facebook, if you got Instagram, or if you have YouTube, chances are, even if you're a knuckle dragger, you've come across those woke niggas posting shit about Black Wall Street, because that's on woke entry level. Like when you in woke 101, they teach you Black Wall Street, right? Because they teach Black Wall Street in Victimhood 101. They, nah, we can't get nothing because they blew shit up back in the days. That's the indoctrination to put you in a fear paradigm. They don't give you Black Wall Street from a powerful, lit production.
So, Red, since we seen so many people tweeting today, talking about they never heard of Black Wall Street, and we do know you think they're lying. What I would say, Red, is that there is a certain degree, I can understand them to a certain extent, considering the fact that you're right. Considering the fact that they don't teach us shit but slavery in our school curriculum. Facts. What I want to ask you, Red, is that, okay, so if they did know this, would things be different right now? If white people was truly taught black history, would things be any different right now, Red?
Well, see, one of the things that they're interjecting into the show, dealing with them manipulating quantum reality, is reparations. They have one of the the arc of the storyline is the fact that there's a white supremacist group that has formed in America, and they kill the police, and the police actually have to operate underneath a mask. The police have to operate in private. The police have to operate in secrecy because of the threat of their family and themselves being killed by this white supremacist group who actually got into power because melanated people were given reparations, right? Under Robert Redford. Ooh. So, that's how they do it. That's how that game is being played. But what was the initial? So you're saying?
No, I was asking if things would be different right now. If they did know the truth, is
if
Black
them
Wall
knowing
Street
our history, because them knowing our history is them knowing their history. It's not one of the, you can't keep it out of the thing, right?
Yo, they always say the fire trucks when red is, they always say that.
Hold on.
They always say that. They be like, yo, every time red is being they turn it right there. Y'all see
that
them
call.
Every time red is being interviewed.
They almost crash into each other.
The fire truck. Every time red is being interviewed.
We was at the crossroad with the ambulance and the fire truck. Laid them out and lit it up. But yeah, man. Them knowing us is them knowing them. You can't separate the two. Whew. Anything that we reveal is indictments of their falsehood, or it's still peeling away, and it's taking away, and it's creating neuroplasticity in the minds of the melanated people who were given wild fantasy. So once you be like, hold on, you mean to tell me that these people collectively were in on this? You mean to tell me that they always trying to be, I got locked up for having a goddamn open beer in my car, but these are the people in Oklahoma that got away with massacring the people? white or European or white people are shitting in their pants, they're shaking in their boots, that is the fear of a black and more Messiah. That is,
Shake and make.
come on, talk to me, ancestors. Hear what I'm talking about? Come through, Agoon. So they're shaking in their boots because they're like, yo, when these people wake up to the fact that they taught us this shit, they gave us the forks, they gave us the soap, they gave us the thongs, nigga. They made this shit do what it do. They fed us, they taught us how to read, everything. Oh, they was popping. They had something called Black Wall Street. Niggas was not lazy. They were not on welfare. Oh, it wasn't just called Black Wall Street, like how niggas just call shit Black Wall Street and there's nothing wall about their street. They were actually doing something. They were doctors. They were lawyers. The fact that somebody has to answer why this is not in the history books. Somebody has to answer why there's no movies at Tyler Perry Studio or in all of the 5 studios in Hollywood or on, you know, they couldn't even give you a sitcom at Black Wall Street, nigga. Nothing. So, coons, boule, Europeans, the people who are considered to be the gatekeepers or the vanguards or the custodians of our information, they're doing a fucking poor job at hiding it. And they're scared for it to come out because it is going to change what is known as the quote-unquote reality, the collective reality that we all agree to that we're existing in. We're in a quantum universe. We're in a quantum realm, my niggas. Me and my niggas is trapped in some shit that we didn't sign up for. That's why we don't see everybody from our past. I don't think they all here. But nigga, we woke up in some other shit. This is not the world that I signed up for. This is some quantum shit. And it's quantum because of what the programming has been through the gateway or the medium or the platform of media. And other things, of course.
Wow, man, that's
like
real.
false history, Santa Claus, Christopher Columbus Day. Yeah.
So I mean that's real interesting, Red Pill. Like, wow, man. So based on you saying that, do you think Hollywood, like, you know, we talk about what industries we should be involved with. You know, we should get involved in this industry or that industry, the oil industry, or this industry or that industry. Do you think, when it comes to the top industry that is the most effective on manipulating, controlling the entire world, do you think that's the move? The Hollywood, the media, is that Hollywood? Are they more powerful? Like, the oil industry versus Hollywood industry. What industry would you rather be a part of and you control if you had an option, my brother?
Well, undeniably, hands down, I would easily sign up to Hollywood, but I would redefine that as the fantasy industry. It's not Hollywood, it's the fantasy industry. And Hollywood is the quote-unquote Castle Grayskull. It's the Death Star. You know what I'm talking about? It's the foundation of it. It's where it emanates from. It's the black dot.
So it's that powerful where
it was created by 5 Eastern European quote-unquote Ashkenazis who were running from the pogroms, who were basically fur salesmen and other things. And they started with the Nickelodeons, and they started with the vaudevilles, plays and theater and moving pictures. And they went into a land that was uninhabited by moguls and things of that nature, and they brought their creative intelligence. They were on the run from Thomas Edison. They're going to come up with a movie called Current Wars, and I think they're going to cover that in that. So they created collectively what was known as Hollywood. These were people who tapped into the power of the Kabbalah. These people mixed the arts with the sciences, and they became the masters of the universe. They colonized the minds of America. Not only did they colonize the minds of America, they colonized the image of America into their liking. You understand? They steered, and they manifested. They made the Italians likable, nigga. Do you know the Italians were niggas before they were white? Do you know Italians only used to, when they first came here, they was in Louisiana and they was in other places, they were linked up with the niggas? The white people, the Sicilians was undesirables. Like the Hollywood Jew created the myth or the fantasy of the Italian mobster, and they didn't show themselves, and they degraded and they defamed and they demeaned, they dragged who they said was the person that they was getting a source from. Us, black people, the Moors. You know what I'm talking about? The original Hebrew Israelites. Yeah, pick them up.
I don't know why that happens, but go ahead, Red.
Yeah, a first-class trip to Beth Israel. You know, they did their thing. But the mind state of these people, these Igors, these people who, you know, had a lot of these, they were trying to do anything that it takes to be accepted in European or white Anglo-Saxon Protestant society, WASP. And we were on a chopping block, and we've been there since. So what I would do is, yes, big oil is power in that. That's lit. But I want to tap into the fantasy. I would take control and power over the fantasy industry and affect cartoons, movies. I would affect the documentaries. I would affect every single thing. Sitcoms. I would affect daytime talk. I would affect everything. Right?
Because he who controls perception controls reality.
He who controls perception controls reality. This is a mental universe. You don't even know what you think your brain is the mind. And you know, we're going to talk about that on the 3rd. Remember the 3rd of November. Talk black to me. You know what I'm talking about? Woo. So, the hollow wood. You got to remember, just think about it. A people who were running from pogroms, a people who were living in what are known as ghettos, a people who were considered underneath black people.
You can't make this up, family. I don't know what it is about Red Pill. Yeah, keep talking, Red.
These same people, fast forward to where we at right now, were considered to run the world, bro. How did that happen? Facts. How did that happen? Y'all gotta answer that question. They took control of the media. They took control of Hollywood. They took control of publication. Media is the Hearst Publications. It is Rupert Murdoch. It is quote unquote the Koch brothers and all of these other people. Where did they come from? You know what I'm talking about? The media is the news stations. The media is Hollywood. The media is Viacom, Redstone, and all of them. Come on, B. So you don't even know who you are because you never seen yourself in the light that it deserves to be seen in. So I would immediately never call that shit Hollywood. It's Gollywood. It's Gollywood. Talk black to me, ladies. Have you ever had some Gollywood? Yeah. It's not Hollywood. I wouldn't even call what we do.
Watching, brother. Kids watching.
I know kids are watching, so, you know. They got Nollywood. Shit. They got Bollywood. And those two entities or those two quote-unquote genres make as much money as Hollywood. And they don't gotta, their material is not up to par to our standards, as some of us would say, but they get to their bags and, you know, they're not attached to the demonic dark, right? Do you hear, even though people have their thing about certain of some of the African movies and some of the Indian movies, they have their level of esotericism, you know, and all of these other things, occultism, and they got some buffoonery and all of that, but it ain't Hollywood. We could define our own genre. That Hollywood shit is too damaged. Indeed. They can have that. I'm not trying to resurrect that, Rich. I don't want to enrich their award shows. I don't want to big up, because they're tie themselves all into your wave anyway. I don't want to do none of that.
The Emmys?
Everything. I'm just saying, I don't want a lot of their direct, that shit is a sinking boat. Hollywood is on their way out anyway.
So considering what took place, what year exactly was Black Wall Street, my brother? Around what year?
In the 20s.
In the 20s, 1920s. Wow, not too long ago. At all.
Nah.
Not 2 generations ago.
That's granny in them.
Yeah, that's grandma.
Yeah.
So that's grandma generation.
It's grandma, grandpa, pa.
What was the major difference when we look at their success versus our lack of success at being independent or at being business owners?
Yeah.
What was the major thing, the difference between us and them? Because is it strictly segregation? There's got to be something else besides segregation that allowed them to be so much more successful than our current generation in 2019.
They didn't have Hollywood.
Wow, so you going back to Hollywood?
They didn't have programming like Hollywood.
The programming.
Yeah, they didn't have that level of programming.
Shit.
You understand?
Shit.
Have you read the publications from that time era?
No, sir.
Have you read newspapers or books from the 1800s? Like
No.
W.E.B. Du Bois's books. Frederick, I'm just saying the vernacular, the level of intellect that was being input into their writings and their thought processes. And they were coming up with treatises and things of that nature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The way that they mastered the English language, the way that they took control of the English language and stretched it to its limits is honorable, and it speaks to the you know, the removal of distraction.
You know what? Now that you say that, I remember Tariq. I don't want to quote him directly, but he said the shit we hear in the slave movies, like I don't want massa back. He said that we talk way better than that, and that's him. I don't want to misquote him.
Yeah.
But he was alluded to the point that we were extremely educated, and that they give us this overemphasized ebonics to make us seem somewhat extremely ignorant.
The same. You've been around intelligent hoodlums, correct?
Yes.
And it's been well known that in the jail system or the penal system, you know, the inmates, there's a large contingency of inmates who are very well spoken. You know, they mastered the English language expeditiously. So in the movies though, whenever they depict a gangbanger or whenever they pick somebody from the hood, is it not the same vernacular? Do they not sound like buffoons?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do they not show any kind of extremities? That's why Wire was so lit when they had what's the dude? Stringer Bell?
I didn't watch The Wire.
Yeah, well, you know, he was intelligent. He showed depth as a character and things of that nature. He wasn't your average buffoon, thuggish, you know, inept. And that's why Tupac is so powerful, right? He broke those molds. So they tried to paint us as one-dimensional in both slave movies. They depict us as one-dimensional in the thug movies or the gang movies. They depict us as one-dimensional in these comedies. Like, remember when all of the Bill Bellamy's and the, you know, Tommy Davidsons and, you know, they were doing buffoonery comedy type shit.
Right, Bobby Hemmett talked about that, yes.
And they were using ebonics. Girl played like Baps. You know, Baps. You know, all of the stuff that comes on BT on Heavy Roro. As if there's no other movies.
One-dimensional
right?
shit.
That toxic cycle. For everybody who wants to call people toxic but don't identify the motherfucking toxic programming that has been taking place on the same networks that y'all be trying to die to work for. You know, because on the LBGT bucket list and other people, the Me Too bucket list, and a lot of other people's bucket list, it's all of these corporations that have programmed toxicness over the decades. They just found, you know, some shit in Johnson & Johnson's, asbestos.
They getting sued, man.
Big time. So,
Yo, so Tupac and let's take about it. Let's look at it. Tupac. That's
Yes.
something. That's some real shit you said.
Tupac.
I asked you about the difference. You said the programming. They didn't have Hollywood. I thought you was gonna say some other sophisticated shit.
Yeah.
You said they didn't have Hollywood. You
Yeah.
got wow. That's I never ever thought about that. That's
yeah,
a deep
they
concept.
didn't have media like that.
That's a deep.
Read the newspapers from back then. Read Garvey's papers, right?
Right.
Read the papers from the 1800s, the level of writing. Remember, the quote-unquote entertainment industry was hated on by the scholars and the intellects of that era because it was said that entertainment will dumb down, pacify, and completely, lower the standards of people.
Wow.
It was folly.
Entertainment.
Entertainment. It's almost like sugar. It's good for you, but it's bad for you at the same time.
Ooh, nigga said entertainment is like sugar. Good.
It's the sugar of the brain, of the mind.
Wow.
Facts. Especially if you don't control, if you're not at the controlling end of creating the entertainment. That's how our people are being subjugated, through a lot of mediums, with one of the most powerful being. Because everybody gonna be like, well, what about religion? And what about that? And what? Look, there's a hydra out there, out here. It's religion, it's the media, right? And it's miseducation. They got us with that. That's the trifecta. Not too many people could get out of 3 boxes. You know, when you in the escape rooms, that shit is triple tiered. There's 3 levels of chess. It's not that many people who could break out of those levels. As long as they got you in one of them, you still in a box.
Shit, man.
So the work that we do, the spirit work that we do, the decoding work, the red pill matrix work that we doing, it is immeasurable. You will not be able to quantify it or give it its valuation in today's times because you niggas are not even quantum yet. This some quantum shit. You understand? We changing reality. Damn near the only thing up against this $1 trillion behemoth, this entity, this machine, right? Because the Matrix was a machine. And the Neos and the Morpheuses and the Trinities, those who lived in Zion, not with the Pelicans either, right? Those who was in Zion, they were coming through the Matrix, through your phone, and they were waking you up and doing the motherfucking work. When you sleep, they was catching bodies. That's what we doing. Facts. This is the fucking Matrix. This is Matrix 44. You know what I'm talking about? Father Rich is Morpheus, red and blue. You know what I mean?
Yo, man.
We still looking for Trinity. Where she at?
Listen, man. Well, I can't wait for your presentation on November 3rd.
Oh, man.
You called the movie theater the Theta Theater.
Oh,
Behind,
man.
off the camera, we were just talking about that. You called it the Theta Theater.
That's what it is.
Shit. Listen, family, if you can't make it November 3rd, get the live stream. This is unfiltered Red Pill. Listen, you never seen Red Pill like this. He's going in. When he starts talking about Theta Theater and neuroplasticity and
oh, nah, this is 2020 Red Pill.
Yeah, this 2020.
I'm different.
This is 2020.
You know what I mean? I went to the UK, to the other hemisphere, to activate the other hemisphere.
Oh, man.
So it hit differently. Talk black to me.
Shit, man.
You know?
Listen,
shout out to Blue Pillar. He about to scorch him too.
Yeah, shout out to Blue.
Shout out to the Shifters as well. We burned down DC this weekend.
Blue Pill Shifters. Listen, man. Leave your contact info before we get out of here, my brother.
Yeah. Cash App, money sign, Phil Moreland, MORELAND, PHIL. You know? Facts2020.org. Like, we're setting up writers' workshops around America. It's that time. It is time to rewrite the story. It is time to tap into the quantum universe and change this thing for the better and show these people for who they really are, and show yourself and your people and your future and your past for what it really is. Go and research Afrofuturists. November 3rd, remember the 3rd of November. You know what I mean? Shout out to KT. He will be part of my segment. It's his birthday.
KT got added to the
grand scientist
to the panel.
Yeah, the master decoder.
Sri Master Gano, Billy Carson, Red Pill, Blue Pill, and now KT the Arch Degree.
Yeah,
wow.
So it's a movie.
Shit.
You know, they said the Joker movie was on par to be the greatest superhero movie of all time, but I think we might be in a close. We gonna catch up to that. You know, all superheroes.
Oh,
look, Gano or Sri Master Gano Grills in the Wu-Tang series that's out right now. Yeah, that's him right there. In the Wu-Tang documentary, yeah, that's him. In understanding about the Theta Theater and understanding about the power, because look, In Too Deep, that movie, I'm sure that there's multiple people watching it, and that movie transformed your neuroplasticity. It stretched it. It elongated it. It elastic your the thought that you could be God, because that was the name of LL's character. How you doing? Right? So it made you feel like you could be God, and you could be a Willie, and you could get it, and you could be Nino Brown, and you could be all of these things. My brother's a part of cinematic history, so he understands that science. Billy Carson, working with Dame Dash being one of the producers of many films, understanding that science. Rockefeller and whatnot, being one of the architects of this reality. Keep that in mind. Huh. You know what I'm talking about? Because Jay was the talent, and he was the manager. Y'all gotta understand those relationships. So he's the architect. So that reality is still here right now. And the brother Billy Carson, what he's doing to mainstream media, important. Very important. You know, monumental. Blue Pill, Law 44, Christ consciousness. He's, you know, it goes beyond talking. Legend. So you in for a treat. This is our first lecture where we're gonna be doing it on black magic. This is history.
Indeed.
What time is it now?
Indeed, man. All right, family, we out of here. I'm gonna see y'all November 3rd. Peace.
Peace.